What's up, Internet? We are here with hopefully a less depressing showing of the 401 real game. Holy crap, last week was sad. Hopefully less math this time. I really need less math in my video games, please. Let's figure out where the hell we are. Here we are with 141 Penguin Seal. This game's got in it. I like it already. Oh god, it's by Sachin. This could be very interesting, but also terrible, or just straight up terrible. So this is a... okay. So, I'm to... what? Okay. What? I see? Sachin, your game is confusing. Quit it, Sachin. Maybe I have to... I mean, I want to say that I have to, like, put it in that hole on the side of the screen, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Maybe I have to have the walruses run into this thing? Possibly? Or not? You know, it's good to learn these things. Okay. I mean, I'm trying all the buttons. We got A and we got B, and neither seem to do much. I don't know. Alright, I can squash them. Do I have to take it back to my corner, perhaps? Because we could try and take them all to the corner and see what that does. Hopefully not get murdered by walruses. But I don't think this is going to do all that much. Run from the walruses. I don't think they're fun, cool party walruses. They're just angry walruses. I mean, I can make like a little shield for them here, but I don't know. There's 3 jewels, there's 3 walruses, but they don't seem to be doing much. Maybe I have to hit them with the gem, perhaps? I don't know. This game is puzzling. And we got a game over, and I'm not complaining. See you next time. Let's see what else we got here that's not that. Still better than last week thus far, though. Not by much, mind you, but still. Next we have Shifter. Or Shift. Wait a minute, I know this game because we played it before. This is Sokobug again. Except now you're a bug. Because Sokobug with bugs, I guess. Pretty sure it's the exact same levels as well. Yep. Now I got the little cross thing that I believe is a good luck sign in Japanese. That's called a manji, I believe. Although a lot of people confuse it with like a swastika, which, fun fact, that's what the first level of Zelda's first dungeon was a manji. That people constantly think is some kind of swastika, and it's not. You can see it in the Japanese Gomon games as well, because that's what like the hookshot blocks are manji blocks. And again, everyone just thinks like, nope. It's just wildly inappropriate games for some reason. It's like, no, it's really not. Stop being dumb, world. I already... There we go. I was confused as to how to do that for a second. This level. Okay. We're gonna not cock this level up now. We're gonna actually try and do this level properly now. Because if I screw this level up twice in a row, that's just depressing. Okay, so let's start by getting this one into the corner. And this one next to it. And let's push this one up, move this one that way. I don't know if the music's any different from the other one, but This is the exact same game. And I'm not sure that Sokobun one was official either. I think that might have been a reskin of like an actual official Sokobun game, but I think the actual official game didn't have audio. But I think the one we played was like a weird hack of it as well, which changed the colors. But now we're a bug, because that makes it a different game, doesn't it? I mean, thus far we haven't run into like too many repeats. I think this is like the second one? Third one? The nice thing is, at the very least, it's a good representation of both what a lot of pirate multi-carts are, because there's a lot of these really bad sort of like minor hacks that change very little. And at the same time, it at least shows off a little bit more of Sokobun, if you have some bizarre fascination with Sokobun. But again, you should just go get like the two Super Famicom Sokobun games, because those games were actually awesome. Okay, I definitely don't want to push that up. I think I may have screwed this up. I think I screwed this up. Twice in a row! Awesome. Oh wait, no, there might be a way to salvage this, possibly. Time to find out. Oh yeah, I got this. But yeah, it's Shove It the Warehouse Simulator, or Boxel again, because Sokobun needed like 4 different names for some reason. Actually, I think those were just different companies trying to sell their own iteration of Sokobun. Kind of like how back in the day everyone was trying to sell you Tetris, even though there was no one that really officially owned Tetris. But that's a very fascinating story about how basically Tetris sort of ended up selling its rights to everyone, even though it kind of didn't either. It's genuinely kind of a fascinating story, and you should look it up. Huh. I think I screwed that up. Yep, I screwed this up. God damn it. So close, and I screwed it up still. Because I can't puzzle game. But still Sokobun. With a mild, buggy paint job for some reason. Alright, next we have Small Mario. Oh, I know this game. We're not going to be playing this for long. I think this is a game, it's a fruit machine, of course, but I think this is a game that actually requires you to use 2 controllers, which I don't have. And I think if I swap, it'll actually freeze the system, so we can't actually experience the full majesty of what this is, if this is what I think it is. Hooray, we got another fruit, but it's a slot machine. I'm actually not sure this is what I think it is. I thought this was Danshi Mali, which is another slot machine, and I'm sure there is a version of it on this thing, but it's a slot machine that kind of sort of features Mario, which is interesting. Especially in how unofficial it is. But, I mean, come on, it's a fruit machine. It's not that interesting. Let's play something more of an actual game, please. For my sanity, if nothing else. I've done 4 of these in a row, and seriously, the crappy games I've had to play in this evening is just kind of mind-blowingly bad. Tunny! This is actually like Shifter, if this is actually Tunny. Yes. Because this is a game called Sansan. Except that they changed the character Sansan to a helicopter. In fact, I've seen versions of this which actually have the character name Sansan still. Whereas, yep, there it is, Sansan. Now, Sansan was a monkey, I believe. It was, I think, visually based on Journey to the West. But back in the day, what wasn't based on Journey to the West? There was a lot of crap based on Journey to the West. But now we're a helicopter, so it's a completely different game, and no one would ever realize it. Even people who've never played Sansan would never realize this. Not at all. let's ignore the fact that the character's still named San-san for some reason. Although, weirdly enough, on the front pages, it was named Rose and John. Which I guess is what their name is supposed to be, but, you know, now it's San-san, because that's what this game was. Also, this game is really, really jerky, and I'm not sure if actual San-san was like that or not, or if this is just a matter of the fact it was tampered with. But it's not the most interesting game ever. It kind of reminds me of the original Mr. Gomon in arcades. But Gomon went on to much better things after Mr. Gomon. Like the Super Nintendo Gomon games, those games are tremendous. Whereas this is just sort of here. Hooray. Pick a plane, shoot a thing, and collect other things. Hooray, we've beaten San-san. I mean, it's not an interesting game, it's not hard or anything, but it's not good. It's not even a particularly good hack. I mean, like I said, I think this slowdown is actually just because this particular version has been monkeyed with. Sort of like as a early version of DRM, so to speak, or copy protection. DRM, that's not quite right. Copy protection is the word I'm looking for. Although nowadays, they're basically the same thing. But back in the day, there was actually some interesting copy protection stuff, you know? Get, like, Monkey Island, you get, like, the pirate code wheel and stuff. You get TIE Fighter, and you get, like, the TIE Fighter pilot handbook that has a bunch of secret Imperial passwords and codes on it. It's really fascinating to see what people would do to prevent you from, like, just copying your neighbor's PC games and stuff. Even though you could still do it, you just had to guess. In fact, if I recall, originally the prequel to TIE Fighter X-Wing, the things about the codes with that were they were all named after Star Wars planets. So even if you didn't know the codes, and you didn't have the code thing, you could theoretically just, you know, keep guessing all the planets you knew until you got one that was right. So it wasn't a perfect system, but it was a fascinating attempt. And that's Tunny. It exists. I don't think San-san's a particularly good game. I don't think Tunny's a fix on a not good game. I think it made it worse. Alright, and finally we have Isolated Warrior. I don't know what this is. Max Maverick, our hero, fights with alien creatures that have invaded his planet from unknown. I have no idea what this game is. Huh. Is this actually a game that might be not the worst thing ever? Huh. This kind of reminds me a little bit of, what was that game? Zen the Intergalactic Ninja. Except this is a shmup, and I think that game wasn't a shmup. It's been forever since I played Zen, but it's got sort of a three-quarter perspective. Well, that said, it makes it awkward to see and judge distance on anything, but the nice thing is there doesn't appear to be too much platforming, because platforming in isometric perspectives is basically impossible. That said, I mean, Sonic 3D Blast was okay, provided you played the Saturn version. If you played the Genesis version, yes, it was the worst thing ever. The Saturn version changed very little, but it got cooler bonus stages and better music. And made it an actual worthwhile game to have, which is why I'm sad that someone stole my copy way back in the day. This game isn't god-awful or anything. It's not the most interesting thing ever either, but it's, you know, it's better than Tunny, that's for sure. Hey, a shield. That's kind of cool. Slow down there, Chief. We don't want to add way too many cool things. That would actually make this a good game. Yeah, there's a fair number of enemy types. That's kind of commendable. Floaty jumps with a backflip for style points. I gotta say, actually hitting things is a little bit of a crapshoot. It seems kind of random whether stuff hits or not. It's really hard to judge where you're actually supposed to shoot. And these sprites feel like they should be a lot bigger for the amount of detail they're trying to pack in. Like, it feels like this boss guy is supposed to be like this big, giant, intimidating, super detailed, scary guy. But he just kind of looks muddled in how much detail they're trying to cram into such a small space. Still, I mean, at least it's a playable game, which is a first for the evening, really. Oh. Hooray! I don't think I can run into that. I have to jump it. Why is it so awkward to actually hit these guys? Oh god, it's this attack. This wide shot is just so bloody awkward. Let's fire a shot at 2 different 45-degree angles. That's how to make a good weapon. Oh god, I can't step in the ooze, or maybe I can, I don't know. Oh, dead. Well, that's about as much of that as I could actually stomach anyway, so, you know. But, to be fair, that was actually not horrible. It just wasn't something I was in the mood for or terribly interested in. But you know, it was at least playable, and that's more than most of what we played here today. Penguin and Seal is completely indecipherable. Shifter is once again Sokobug, just with a different take on it. Small Mario is a slot machine for some reason. Tunny is just a poor hack of Son. And Isolated Warrior, that's actually kind of just an average game. But you know, given the other 4, that's still something. Would I recommend this cartridge based on these 5 games? Absolutely not. But I hope you enjoyed this descent into madness and terribleness. Join me next week where we'll look at Volgard. That actually sounds like it could be something impressive involving giant robots, perhaps. But I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And I'm just going to trip over my own words because talking is hard. And if you really want to help support the channel, hit up the Patreon, support it there, get on the Patreon supporters Discord, and we can talk about how bad stuff like Penguin and Seal is, or how genius it is, and maybe I'm just too dumb to understand. One of those 2 things is true. I'm betting it's probably the former, though. But I'll see you next time where we look at Volgard. Peace out, Internet.